Well, hello, and how are you? Today is blog number 33, I do believe. It is March the 6th, 2015. Yeller looks good on me. I was just looking at the yellow shirt that I'm wearing. Anyway, hey, what I was going to tell you about today was a trip I took into Memphis, Tennessee with a friend of mine named Craig. Well, him and me and Sonny, I think it was Sonny. Well, we was headed into Memphis, and well, I'll tell you what. About the time we come across one of them bridges, the fan belt on the alternator went off. Oh man, I tell you what, alternator belt broke. So we're coasting across that bridge, and all of a sudden we ain't got no lights, and we're running on barely running. And we get down there and we see this gas station, and well, we pulled down to the gas station and we're parked up under the gas station. Well, it's like, hey, well, we need to go and get a belt. So we go down to around the corner to we start walking, and we're in this real dark neighborhood. Dark meaning back then it was a heavily black populated neighborhood. Now, this just so happens to recently have been, well, recently, I say recently, within the last 5 years, was put up in the news as one of the worst neighborhoods in Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Memphis, Tennessee. Anyway, we decided we were going to go and try to find a belt. So we went for a walk, and we're walking in this neighborhood down the street. We go down the street. We're stopped at a gas station, but they don't have any kind of parts. It's like one of them little jiffy pumps, you know, where there's a guy in the square thing who's got cigarettes back there, but that's about it. Anyway, we go down the street to this parts store, and we go in, and we're looking around at belts, or we're looking around at stuff, and then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 black guys come in, and then we come back out, and they're starting to gather on the other side of the street, and then there's a few guys sitting at a kind of like a garage entrance. Well, they said they have a belt, and now we're sitting here as we're talking to these gentlemen. It's there's a bigger and bigger gathering across the street. Now, this isn't a prejudice thing. I mean, we're 3 white guys in Memphis, Tennessee, and they're starting to gather up quite a bit. The guys we're talking to are also black, and we're getting ready to buy. We're looking at these belts, and they've got all these old used belts, and they say they want a certain amount of money. Well, Craig, he starts to Jew them down. Bicker. He starts bickering price with the guy, and I'm like, Craig, just give the man the money. Let's get out of here. And then we decided that it was time to go, because, well, a police car pulls up, and there's 2 officers in it, and I don't remember. I think one of them was white, but the other one was there was definitely one black one, and maybe both of them were black. But either way, they looked at us and they said, "What are you guys doing? You guys are get in this car right now." We said, "Why? What's going on?" He says, "You're white." And we were like, "What?" And so anyway, we jumped in the car, and they took us back up to the gas station. So now we're sitting back up here at the gas station, and well, uh, now we still don't have a belt because we were going to buy one, but the police showed up before we got it bought. So we're sitting up here at the gas station, and then there's a taxi cab driver pulls in. Well, Craig and Sonny, they decided what they're going to do is go ahead and jump in the cab and go to a parts store. Well, there's supposedly a auto zone not too far off around the corner. So they jump in the back of this cab, and while they're gone, I'm going to take off the old belt and be prepared for them to get back, so that when they get there, we'll be able to put on that new belt and go ahead and leave. So I go ahead and get a half-inch wrench. I find a half-inch wrench. Guy at the gas station just so happened to have one of those. So I've got a half-inch wrench. I go out there and I loosen the alternator, and I slide her loose there, and I get the old belt, I don't even get the old belt loose off because it's already broken, gone. But I've got the alternator loose. So when Craig and Sonny get back, I can slap that new one on there, and we can get out of there. So anyway, here they come, and this is like an hour later, and I've been sitting in the car with my lock blade knife laying in my lap, just waiting, because I didn't know. We're in a neighborhood, and already the police done came and told us to get out of there as soon as we could, and so I didn't know what to expect. So I'm sitting in the car with my lock blade knife in my lap, just waiting for whatever's going to happen. So anyway, I'm getting nervous, more nervous, and then about an hour later, they show back up, and they get out of the car, and they come over, and they toss me I said, "Give me that belt. Let's get out of here." I slapped that belt on in about 2 seconds. We were on the road. And so we're on the road, and we're headed on into Memphis. We just decided to go on in, seeing as how we had a new alternator belt. But they what's the word I'm looking for? It's not presume. They think it starts with a P, though. Anyway, they end up going ahead and telling me their story while I'm sitting here waiting at the gas station with my knife on my lap, getting more and more nervous. They're riding around in the back of a taxi cab with no door handles on the back of it. The doors automatically lock, and they're sitting there. They're riding with this taxi cab driver, and he takes them, and he pulls in an alley, and he goes in behind this alley, and he's supposed to be getting some tools, more tools, and maybe I didn't have a wrench, but whatever. Anyway, he's supposed to be getting some tools so that we can do the job on this on this alternator belt when they get back. And so anyway, they get the alternator belt, and he gets the tools, but they're sitting there in the back of this car. They can't get out. They can't do anything. And then all of a sudden, he's gone, and he says, "Well, I'll be right back. I'm going to go into my cousin and see if I can't get some tools, and maybe he's got an old fan belt that'll fit that thing." And I had no idea. Those guys went through just as much more scary stuff than I did when I was sitting there waiting at the gas station for them to come back. It was a pretty tough one, I tell you what. Hey, Craig, why don't you get with me and tell me what all you guys went through, because I'll put that on a blog. That way you know, they'll have an idea, because I forgot half of what you guys went through. You went through some heavy stuff, riding around in the back of a taxi cab, no door handles to open the doors, and then getting out. And but yeah, I remember that, boy. You guys threw me that belt, and I guess you gave me the wrench at the same time. But whatever, I had that belt on in less than 5 minutes, and we were on the road. It was just one of those things. It was people been telling me I ought to tell these stories, and I guess I ought to, seeing as how they're part of my history. So there you go. I remember that quite well. And I think tomorrow I'll probably be telling you a little bit about the whatchamacallit. What was that thing that I done? Oh yeah, a little bit about the water pump timing chain. Timing chain, that's what I'll tell you about. Yeah, I tried to look it up on the internet to find out exactly where we were in Millington, but I Google mapped it and whatever. We had come in on Highway 51 into Millington, or into Memphis from out of Millington, which is where we were stationed at in the Navy, and we had come into Memphis off of 51. And we had just barely come across the river over the Mud River, the Moogie River. Anyway, it was a small river there. It wasn't like the Mississippi or anything. It wasn't on the west side or east side of Memphis. It was just one of those short ones. But anyway, it was pretty good scene. And I remember, that was one of them nights. There was we were headed into probably what was that place? O'Doul's? Was it O'Doul's? I remember they had big old buckets, and these little pin straws, and you could get a big old bucket of whatever drink it was, and then once you got your big old bucket of drink, and then you had to drink through your straw. So anyway, I wish I could remember all the details that Craig and Sonny went through, but. Well, I don't get to remember all of that stuff. I remember quite a bit. I remember the details I went through. But anyway, Craig, I'm going to send this one over to you, so you can forward it to whoever you want to forward it to. It's part of your life story too. Maybe you'll send it off to the kids or whatever. Anyway, that's about my time. Actually, it's only 13 minutes or 14 minutes into it, but I'm going to cut her short today so I can go and get my hair cut. So, it's Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? God loves you and so do I, so we'll check you later. Have a blessed evening, or blessed day, as a matter of fact. I got to it kind of early today. Alrighty then. Have a great day. God bless you.